With the holidays just around the corner, we thought we would bring you our top BRIO Trains, Sets and Accessories video a little earlier this year. We've also combined it all into one video rather than separate ones, so you can see everything in one place. We've split the range into 4 key categories: our top 5 accessories, top 5 push-along trains, top 5 battery trains, and top 5 BRIO train sets for 2024. We have added chapters in the video so you can skip ahead to the section you're most interested in. But without further ado, let's jump straight into our top 5 BRIO accessories to buy in 2024. Number 5, and it's the BRIO 33253 stacking supports. We love using these supports in our big track layouts, as they easily allow us to build taller and more detailed tracks on our train table. It's also very difficult to buy supports today, and this set is now the only way to do so from new. While this set did feature on last year's video at number 3, it hasn't lost its appeal to us, but instead some other new items have come in higher this year round. The first of which is our number 4 pick, the BRIO 36044 Exploding Tunnel. We've only just recently received this set, but we're already a big fan of this tunnel, and have already integrated it into a few layouts that will be coming up in the channel very soon. The TNT sticks fit into the top of the tunnel, and boom! The ends of the tunnel are sent flying, allowing your train to pass safely through it. We found ours took a little practice to get the pieces to clip into place, but having done it a few times and watched our son interact with it, this is actually a benefit, and we were being perhaps a little too delicate with it at first. Number 3 on this year's list is the BRIO 33889 Crane and Mountain Tunnel, which is down from last year's number 2 spot. This set has it all. The top section detaches, there's 2 tunnels, a crane, sounds, plus you get gold cargo brick, a cargo wagon and a crane operator with it. The top tunnel allows you to place the 2 included ascending ramps up and through it, though this can be modified to accept elevated straight tracks also. There is a button on the back of the mountain that operates the sounds, and the crane on top can spin through 360 degrees and has enough reach to pick up cargo from the base of the mountain. It's a great set, and last year was only beaten by one other set, which is this year's number 2, and that's the BRIO 33996 Container Crane. We've been a big fan of this set since it came out, with the enhanced play functions of not only picking up cargo, but depositing it also via this red chute directly onto a waiting cargo wagon. It's a big hit for us, plus it includes 2 new cargo bricks and the space to store plenty of cargo underneath it. There's also double track integrated into it for trains and a separate road for additional loading and unloading. You can also collect cargo from boats at the end of the dock, and the included play figure and life ring are fun extras. It was last year's number 1, so that means we have a brand new BRIO train accessory at the top of our 2024 list. But before we reveal which set got the top spot, let's take a look at a couple of future contenders that we've got our eye on. First is the collapsing bridge. Now we know this is by no means a new piece, but it's something we've had our eye on for some time and just not yet managed to acquire it. The playability of this piece looks to be great fun, and the combination of the large straight over the top with a small straight crossing under it makes it a unique element for track building. Second then is the Central Station set. Again, another old set and one that we have often overlooked, mostly because we've been holding out to find the original wooden base version. That said, like the Container Crane, it is the only other set to contain double tracks, and that alone might mean it could break into our top 5 list next year. But let's focus on the here and now. So our number 1 train accessory for 2024 has to be the BRIO 36992 Dinosaur Erupting Volcano set. This was another set that we only recently received, but immediately has taken its place at the top of this list. Not only does it feature lights, sounds, steam effects and exploding panels, but it also includes 2 dinosaurs, a pterodon and a T-Rex, which on their own are great accessories to have, but combined with the playability of this volcano tunnel and the aforementioned lights, sounds and steam, and simulated eruption, it's a definite winner. Plus, it integrates really well with another set which we will feature on a little later on in this list. We have our full review coming on to the channel soon, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel with the bell on so you don't miss our review of our number 1 train accessory pick, the BRIO 36992 Dinosaur Erupting Volcano set. Next, let's take a look at some trains. Last year we combined battery and push-along trains together into one list. This year we've decided to separate them. So first up, let's take a look at our top 5 push-along trains. First up at number 5 for us is the BRIO 33722 Safari Train. Another new addition for us this year, this train is one that we've been looking to pick up for some time. It's made up of 3 sections. The safari train itself, complete with 2 carriages. The tops of those carriages slide open to reveal a zebra and a giraffe head that automatically pop up. Ordinarily, these animals would fall foul of tunnels and overhead tracks, but instead dip down inside when passing through or under. Next at number 4 we have the BRIO 33557 Streamline train, which is up 1 spot on last year's list. I'm still a big fan of this train in its red colour. That was previously available in blue in the 2021 Special Edition train. I do like that the train includes a themed coach, and I would love to see BRIO introduce more colours and trains in this style in the future. New in at number 3 is the BRIO 36087 TGV train from the Trains of the World series. While this is just another travel train with a branded livery and colourway, what is nice about this set is you get 4 pieces. So many travel trains come with only 2 or 3 sections, and getting an additional central carriage to expand a train is therefore costly and difficult. The set also comes with 2 play figures, and one of which is still exclusive to this set. Our number 2 spot on this year goes to another classic train, and one that we also recently acquired, and that's the BRIO 33748 high-speed train. Now, compared to the TGV train, this one has less playability with the wooden engines and carriages, so you can't place figures or luggage inside. But there's something about having a classic wooden train with the twin axles and the clean white colour that takes me back to the classic Trains of the World series. And to top it off, this one has sound effects too, which is why it's our number 2 spot on this list. Now, before we share our number 1 push-along train pick, there's one train that we still have our eye on for next year, which is the BRIO 33982 3-wagon cargo train. We don't own many of these larger container-style cargo blocks, so these plus the yellow sliding door cargo wagon and the blue and yellow train keeps this one firmly on our radar for next year, and I think could feature highly. Before we reveal our number 1 pick, let us know in the comments if next year you would like us to include a separate section for all the non-train vehicles within the BRIO world. I'm talking boats, planes, cranes, cars and trucks. Until then, here is our number 1 pick this year for push-along trains, and it's the BRIO 36085 London Underground Trains of the World train. As mentioned last year, I love these trains and tunnel combination sets, and the new London Underground or Metro train, depending on where you're from, has taken this year's crown for me. We did a full review video on this set, which we'll leave a link to on screen now or down in the description. But, needless to say, the 3-part classic Metro engine style and London Underground sign plus figures makes this not only a great train to get, but with the tunnel it also gives you a little extra track to expand your existing set and make something new. Okay, we're halfway through our lists, and we find ourselves at our top 5 battery trains for 2024. And coming in at number 5 is the BRIO 33594 2-way battery powered train. This is about as simple as battery trains get. It takes a single AAA battery, which powers the back 2 wheels, and a little light on front. On the top there is a switch that has 3 settings, forwards, backwards and off in the centre. BRIO offer 2 versions of this train, with the second being the BRIO 33319, which also includes 2 moving wagons. Now, we don't own those, which is why we're only featuring the train on our list, but either one will be a good first battery train for a 3+ year old. Number 4 on our list is another Trains of the World model, and it's the BRIO 36088 ICE rechargeable travel train. Now, while this is just an updated colourway of the existing 33746 train, I do like the white colour of this train, and it allows us to combine some of our other white travel train carriages to make a much longer train. The fact that this train is rechargeable saves us having to keep swapping the batteries out, and we found that the battery appears to last longer than some of the other battery trains we own. It would have been nice to see BRIO update the charging lead to USB-C rather than stick with the slightly outdated in 2024 micro USB lead, but that aside, it's a great train to own. Next up at number 3 is the 33884 steaming train. Now this is down a spot on last year's list, and that's based on the fact that we are starting to see less steam from our original black engine over time. That aside, it's still a fantastic and fun train to run around the tracks, and we still get a kick out of seeing the steam come shooting out of the funnel when it leaves the tunnel. There are 3 buttons on this train, and you need to hold the power button down to turn the train on or power it off. There's forwards, backwards and stop, and the lights come on when the train is turned on, and the steam effect works when the train is in motion. There's also a red version of this engine now available in the dedicated steaming set. Our number 2 spot therefore is up one place from last year, and it's the BRIO 33593 Mighty Action locomotive. This train has a mode that no other battery train has, and because of that alone, it is probably our most recommended train to people in the comments and via email. That's this switch at the back that allows the train to switch from battery power to push along. Younger kids in particular tend to want to push the trains around the track we find, even if they are going on their own. This can stress the small gears inside the engines, which will ultimately lead to them not working. So having this function makes it an easy recommendation for children aged sort of 3 to 4 years old. When in battery mode, there's a forwards and backwards button. There are sounds when the train is going forward and a reversing sound when it goes backwards. There are also lights on the front, and the bigger wheels seem to give this train more pulling power than others to pull more wagons and carriages along. There's also 3 colours of this train available. This is the green version. There's also the BRIO 33592 Mighty Action red locomotive, and the newer gold version, which is the BRIO 33630. I would really like to see them introduce a silver version of this train, or reintroduce the older black version back into the collection. But what colour would you like to see? Let us know in the comments below. And before we press the button and speed into our number 1 spot, here are 2 other trains that we have our eye on. The first is the BRIO 36096 Dinosaur battery train. Now the engine itself isn't new, in fact it's just a retheme of the red battery from the Cargo Deluxe set and the green BRIO 33214 cargo train. The train itself though is fairly unique in that it has magnets on the front and back, meaning it can push other trains forward. That alone I think will earn it a spot on next year's list, let alone the 2 included dinosaurs, wagon and eggs cargo brick. The other is the BRIO 36018 farm battery train. Now this is another new colour or version of an existing train, and it's a train that's included in the Cargo Harbour set, and I've been pleasantly surprised by just how quick this style of train is compared to some others. Plus this train includes a wagon and unique coloured grass cargo brick, and a cow with black spots. Speaking of quick, and it will likely come as no surprise that our number 1 pick from last year has retained its title for the 2nd year running. Blink and you'll miss it, it's the BRIO 36003 turbo train. Like other trains mentioned on this list, it has similar forwards, backwards and stop functionality. However, unlike the others, it has a turbo boost mode, whereby when you press the lightning bolt, you get turbo speed for 5 seconds. The side light strips turn blue and the train thunders off down the track. It also includes a carriage and play figure, complete with turbo t-shirts. This year we've seen the introduction of the 36011 Turbo Train Set, which features the new curved station and all new turbo themed tunnel. It is the most expensive battery train that BRIO make, but if you can get it for the right price, it's well worth having for slightly older children, say 4 to 6 years old I think. Our 7-year-old still plays with it a lot, while our 3-year-old hasn't really shown the same amount of interest in this train just yet. Now then, we have come to the big one, the best BRIO train sets to buy in 2024. Looking back on last year, there was one set in particular that we had our eye on that we thought might dethrone last year's winner. Before we get to that though, let's take a look at our number 5 pick, which is the BRIO 33513 Metro set. I still love the Metro station building with its sliding doors and the red tunnel. You also get 3-piece red Metro train that has lights and sounds when it runs around the track. There's also 2 play figures included in the set, along with a ticket machine and Metro map and small siding. The best thing about this set I think is how well it integrates with other sets. This was our number 3 pick last year, meaning that we've had some new entries, and the first of which is coming up next. Our number 4 train set for 2024 then is the BRIO 36094 Dinosaur Adventure set. This set was a little deceiving at first. You see, when you look at the piece count of just 21 items, it seems a little low, but when you open up the set, you'll soon see that it is anything but. The simple circle is complemented by the 2 ascending curves at the back in this new grey colour, the rock mountain that fits around the switch track, the tree track, the green curve piece, all add to the set, and we haven't even got to the 3 dinosaurs, or the train that's included. It's not a cheap set mind you, but we did manage to find ours on sale at 30% off, and at that price it was well worth it, and worthy of our number 4 spot on this year's list. We literally got this set 2 weeks ago, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel to see the full video next week when we post that. Our number 3 spot is down one from last year, and it's the BRIO 33097 Cargo Deluxe set. We still use the cranes from this set in almost every track we build, and the track that's included make it an excellent set for combining with others, especially the Metro set. I think we've got over 10 tracks now on the channel combining these two sets alone, and we keep coming up with more all of the time. Each of the cranes are different. The battery powered train works well and can push and pull cargo wagons around. It's a really well put together set, and I suspect that at some point it will be updated, as we haven't had a new construction set for some time now, and the plastic box that it comes in is seemingly against the direction BRIO are going in with packaging on all of their new sets. So if you don't own it now and are looking for a good set to get at this price range, then this is the one I would choose. So we're down to the final two, and this was a hard decision between the 33052 Deluxe set that took the top spot last year, and the challenger in the BRIO 36010 Cargo Mountain set that we speculated on last year and picked up this year. Now before we reveal our number one, let's take a quick look at another set that could well challenge for the number one spot next year, and that's the BRIO 36104 Dinosaur Deluxe set. Like the other two sets, this is another big one with tons of playability and unique features. I mean, just look at that plesiosaur, acting as a ferry moving trains around the layout. This set was not coming to the UK originally back in September with all the other autumn releases, but it looks as though it is now available to buy here as well as around the world. So thank you to everyone who sent me pictures of the set in their local stores, but that's next year. Let's get back to this year with our number two pick, which is the BRIO 36010 Cargo Mountain set. Now, I thought long and hard about this decision, and there was one main reason for us as to why it didn't get the top spot, and that was that on its own, I don't think there is as much playability as there is in the Deluxe set. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still tons to do with all the cranes, the stackable mountains, the elevator, helicopter, etc. And I think that this set combined with another set, or just with more track to give it the ability to set it up in a different way and close the loop, would have put it over the edge and earned it that top spot. We actually have built several tracks now which are coming out in December where we combine this set with others to make some truly awesome tracks. But even the three ascending curves that come in this set couldn't elevate it to the number one spot, which means that for the second year running, our best BRIO train set to buy in 2024 is the BRIO 33052 Deluxe set. As we alluded to, what I think sets this set apart from all others is the track that's included. It allows you to create so many different circuits and switch the direction of the trains around so they don't get stuck in the same direction loop. The road is another factor that gives this set an edge, as are all the trains, vehicles and playfigures that are included. If this set had a battery train, I'm not sure that it could ever be beaten, but actually I think that's the beauty of this set, as you can add whichever battery train you want to make it your own. The 33052 Deluxe set also has endless possibilities to expand with other sets. We've got an entire playlist now full of set combinations featuring the Deluxe set, and by this time next year we hope to have it combined with every other current BRIO train set to give you ideas and inspiration for building your own custom layouts. And if you can't find one for the track that you have, make sure you drop us an email and let us know, and we'll put it into the build queue for next year. We've also found a couple of alternative layout designs that just use the track included within the Deluxe set itself, so be sure to check those out as well. So that concludes our top 5 BRIO train sets, accessories and trains for 2024. Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments below, and if you made it this far and you're not subscribed yet, hit that button, as we have lots more in store for you in the coming weeks, with daily December videos. Until then, why not look at this next video where we predict what sets we think will be coming in 2025.